Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Halftime Podcast, brought to you by the Bahoys minus Cal, because he's playing IRL football. Boo!
Minus Cal plus Brick.
Minus Cal plus. I was in last week.
Oh the fuck! Oh the fuck! Oh the fucking hell are you?
So, last podcast regarding the Premier League. That's because the World Cup's starting, right? So
Yes,
that's
sir.
exciting. That's fun. Qatar. Less said about the country, the better. But anyway, World Cup's here. Football's here. We're going to win in Gerland. But before we get into that, we do have the last round of games to discuss. So obviously, we're going to speak about Arsenal. We're going to hear Chaz's luscious voice speak about Arsenal. We're going to then go on to Brand, talk about Newcastle, bit of top four prediction, and then a Ronaldo rant by Copley, which is going to go viral. And then a team of the week at the end of it. So, I mean, without further ado, let's take it away. I'll tell you what, Chaz, I like your voice, but Aaron, Arsenal's
I didn't even watch the game, so
I do want to ask you both the question. I did ask Chaz this morning, so I'll ask you now as well, Aaron. Is this, at this point, with what happened to City this weekend as well, is this where you can honestly sit there and go, this is ours now to lose?
Yes, without a doubt.
If you're not already thinking we have one hand there, we need to get the other.
Statistically, yes, it is technically ours to lose because obviously 5 points clear, same amount of games played as City. But we weren't expected to be here, and I know we are, and it's hard to differentiate from beginning of the season to where we are now. But no one had us as total contenders, so it's still very much difficult to say. Well, yeah, if it's ours to lose because we weren't meant to be there.
Whether you're meant to be there or not, you're still 5 points clear at Christmas.
Do you think
theoretically, yeah, it is our title to lose, but you cannot sit there and say theoretical.
You still
out
won't put your favourites,
and
which is
you're
weird.
so loud.
Still got City to play twice.
Yeah,
City to play twice, Newcastle to play twice, Spurs to play away, and stuff like that. Theoretically, yes, it is ours to lose, but if you take theoretical out of that, I don't think it is ours to lose. But theoretically, it is ours to lose. Yeah. But yeah,
I haven't actually said anything, but I don't think it's necessarily. It's only 5 points. It's not actually that much.
With City to play twice.
I get
roll us over, then boom, we're 1 point behind
If
them.
we were sitting 9 points clear, I would say theoretical or not, this is our title to lose.
Okay,
it's 5 points.
Would you say you've bottled it if you didn't win it?
No, not at all.
That's weird.
Right,
That's weird because Tottenham bottled it against Leicester, even though we were never top. Just straight.
Let it go.
I just want to know where the rules are.
So my philosophy with it is where Fulham are sitting now, no one had them there. Do you think if they now get relegated, they can go, sorry, we were never meant to stay up?
No, it's completely different though, isn't it? Because we're talking about the title against Man City, mate. Firstly, Fulham aren't going to go down, right? But we're talking about being 5 points clear with 14 games played. I've got a Man United fan down below. I don't know where he's on this, but down below he's saying that it's not really ours to lose. On my left, saying it's not really ours to lose. And that's all I need to know. All right, I really don't. Theoretically, it is.
It's 2 games of football that shit happens.
Exactly.
Hopefully, potentially you get a few injuries and then it all goes peak tong.
It's like we have been.
Honestly, I'm crossing my fingers for a Saliba ACL.
not that bad, but just a few in a row.
Hands down.
Tight ankle. Hamstring.
Yeah.
Right, hands
snapped
down.
Achilles.
So far this season, we've been the best team in the league. Fact, right? But when it comes down to the thick of it, firstly, you've got the thick of it. It is theoretically an unexperienced manager with a semi-now unexperienced squad. We can't go ahead and bring on people like Bernardo Silva off the bench and players like that off the bench. Our substitute players don't make it in probably any top 7 side. Whereas
I'm hearing a lot of excuses.
No, I'm just the question is it ours to lose? Stuff like that, theoretically, yeah, but in general, I don't think so.
I was asking the question from a non-statistical basis. Squad for squad, we know City have the depth on Arsenal, But from what we've seen this season, starting 11 versus starting 11, Arsenal are the better team. Okay, it's only really going to matter when it comes down to. I mean, they are because they're doing
only the better
5
team
points.
because of the defence.
Yeah, right. But this is like none of us had you up there with City because we didn't expect other teams to be where they are.
Let's put it this way: if we got to the end of the season and we finish say second, or if we finish second, I wouldn't sit there and be sad. I wouldn't be like, that was ours and we had the chance.
God damn it!
Obviously, I'd be sad, but I wouldn't be like, because it wasn't expected. It's going to be the same story as last year. Let's be real. At the start of the season, no one thought we would get top 4. We bottled it in the end. And it'll be the same thing this season.
No. My smile was before he started talking about last season.
Same thing this season. No one expects us to be where we are. There's not one person in this world, maybe apart from some stupidly die-hard Arsenal fans, that thought that we would be able to compete with City. If we don't win the title,
get the bet up. Get the bet up.
I'm not taking. Look, it'll be pissing £300 away. What's the point in cashing out now?
If we don't win the title, people are still going to say we bottled it. But look, I'm happy how we've played so far this season.
I've got a question, and this isn't. I don't want it to come across the wrong way, as in like a dig at Arsenal, or like an excuse. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but I don't want it to come across in the wrong way. Do you think teams play differently versus City than they have been against Arsenal? It just came to my head because I just thought of the Brentford game
I think
how
so,
like
yes.
teams. Yeah, I was gonna say how teams park like 11 behind the ball versus City. I don't know if I've seen that as much against Arsenal because obviously City have been at the very top for years, and you're at the top for the first time in.
Good question.
I think it's a good question,
years.
but I think the way City have played for years now under Pep, of the high passing football when it comes to, they will string 300 passes together throughout 90 minutes, and if they have a bad game, they'll have 6 or 7 shots at goal, but they will continuously make, like, that is their style of football. With Arsenal, they've adopted.
It's their style because they have to.
If we're talking about,
they have to keep
Liverpool
trying to
if we're
unlock a
talking
team.
about, let's use Brentford as an example. Yeah, from what I saw of the City Brentford game, it was a lot of for Brentford's chances, quite a lot of counter-attacking football. Obviously, much was the same. Arsenal Brentford. Obviously, Arsenal dominated them. Brentford definitely did put a lot of men behind the ball. Just on the day, Brentford's offense was nowhere near as good as it was against City. I don't know. I think this season most of the lesser teams haven't had a choice but to put 10 players behind the ball.
I think
Arsenal.
also Man City's flaws are more obvious because they've been having to play like this for longer, and they've also been had at longer. Whereas Arsenal, you've started to play extremely well. Last season you played well, but not as well as this year. So now teams are struggling to find
The sample size for City is
weaknesses.
massive compared to
everyone
Arsenal.
knows City's weakness. Like you can counter them quite easily.
Yeah.
Whereas Arsenal right now, it's a bit like, what do we do?
I think if you take the game to City, sometimes it works.
Yeah,
Like you saw with
I was about to say
Newcastle.
with City this season, and we're seeing it more and more from teams that are wanting to push to the next step. Is if you stop sitting behind the ball and you actually take the game to them, if you're able to get your foot on the ball for even a 5-minute spell, their defense has been that shaky this season where, like, you're going to cause problems, and that's happening with a lot of teams that are playing City.
Yeah,
like Brentford done it counter-attacking football, but they still found a way.
Yeah.
Like City aren't impenetrable, whereas with Arsenal, it was only really the Leeds game in the second half where they were the better team by a country mile, and you were extremely tired against Southampton when you drew. Apart from that, it's not really.
Look, if you said, like, do teams play against you differently? Because against City, they just put 11 behind the ball. The same against Arsenal. Plenty of teams, the majority of the game, will put 10-man minimum behind the ball. You look at our toughest game this season, Man United, and why it was so tough for us is because the majority of the time they had 10 players behind the ball and they played on the counter-attack and they outdone Arsenal tactically. Most teams are playing with 10 men behind the ball against Arsenal. Very similar to City, I think, but the thing with Arsenal and City is that at the moment, apart from the Man United game, when teams try and counter-attack against us, we seem to be a bit more
Clinical,
well,
I think.
well drilled and clinical in how we deal with said counter attacks. Whereas City, when City get counter attacked against, mate, it's normally like 5 offensive players versus like 2 defensive players for City.
I mean,
Also, you do play with 12 every week. You can't forget that.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Got to throw it in there.
No, well,
Another
you're
another shambolic decision.
So obviously on the other.
That little one there.
Just
You may not have forgot about fucking Leicester and bloody that title charge, but I ain't forgot about fucking Romero and Cucurella, mate.
Hey, like you said, swings and
Hey,
roundabouts.
you get away
With
with
your
it.
words.
Yeah.
Just
Swings and
like
roundabouts.
on the weekend when fucking Leeds had a free kick and Harry Kane shouldn't have scored. But you know, swings and roundabouts. I know. I agree 100%.
You're getting a lot more swings than roundabouts out there. It's weird.
You're just swinging, fucking hell.
Exactly.
Hey, look, it's about time. It's about fucking time.
In the group chat when you went, I'm not complaining. I was like, no fucking surprise. I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining. It's nice to take the Arsenal title. It used to be like obviously like Liverpool. Used to be like Liverpool, but now it's just Arsenal, mate. So I'll take it.
It still is Liverpool. Let's not.
How would you know?
That was set up so easily.
Because Jim, the one game I did watch, it was Liverpool, and I've seen Trent Alexander-Arnold absolutely twat someone in the box, and it not be given a penalty.
We had one this game last weekend, and we didn't get it. So swings around about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to finish the point off, back to the divisional point, it's been for 14 games we've been the better team. Can we do it for another 24 games?
Can't see why not.
Fuck knows.
Well, it's just World Cup. No one knows what's going to happen.
The reason why I've asked this question is obviously the World Cup's thrown a huge spanner in the works, but also I think when it comes to January, are we seeing either of your City and Arsenal spending?
Yes.
I think Arsenal will. I don't think City will.
I don't think City will.
So this is why I'm.
It wouldn't surprise me if City bring another 50 million defender.
I'm like,
wouldn't surprise me.
There's been a few rumours, but I think I mentioned it in previous podcasts because they own the Rams, don't they? The Cronkies. Yeah. When they got a sight of potential glory, they just pissed money into the fucking team, mate. And from what I've seen from reports now, is that potential it could be like the same kind of direction for Arsenal. There's been a lot of rumours about this Mudryk.
Shakhtar, yeah, he looks.
I think we'll sign.
I think it's like 60 mil as well.
I just don't see City spending like Arsenal can spend and push themselves a little bit further ahead, like when it comes to restarting the league in after Christmas.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think City. I mean, Pep said it in interviews before, but he also said that he can't replace Aguero. So I'm taking it with a pinch of salt. But Pep's under the impression that City aren't going to spend, if at all.
I just don't know where they would go.
Yeah, but the thing, like, who do you look at in like? Don't get me wrong, their defense is shit. But when you look at
their players,
who you really going to replace?
A left back, would I say?
What Cancelo?
But Cancelo.
No, but like an actual.
Didn't they sign that Gomez?
Yeah, that Gomez.
Yeah, who's played twice. I've seen him play twice.
I mean, he got sent off in the Champions League game.
Or a right back, because who's been playing instead of Walker? It's been
He'll
be back.
Walker's going to be back.
Yeah, but again, if he gets injured again, like they got no.
I actually cannot believe we've got to the stage where we're questioning City's depth. I know there's
that's literally one position.
They need to sign a backup.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they go and spend 50 mil on a centre back because they
Carl Walker's massive for him.
Well, the thing is, they've got who they got. They've playing at the back at the moment. They've got Kanji or Stones playing right back. Diaz and Laporte.
They haven't been playing Diaz and Laporte together.
I feel
like Ake's been playing a lot.
Yeah, Ake has been playing, but against Brentford it was Laporte, Stones, Akanji, and Cancelo.
Yeah.
So they all of their centre halves are playing anywhere across the back four at any one point. So I agree. Maybe they need another player, but I don't think I'll see City spending.
Sounds like they need to.
I don't know what it is.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, you know, Arsenal have had I think everyone can admit, an absolutely unbelievable start to this season. I saw a figure or a stat during the week where it was like, you know, Spurs' best ever start, Man City's best ever start, and Arsenal are 5 points clear of City. So, I mean, I don't know what's happened to Arsenal this season, but They're playing some good football.
The other thing as well, City normally start slow, so this is probably quite a good start for City.
They absolutely take over.
Yeah, again, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with this World
Cup?
No,
they're going to end up signing someone in January. Let's be honest. They just
so I'd be surprised if they sign nothing.
They just will. They'll be like, oh, Rafael Leao, 70 million. We don't really want any other clubs to have him. Fuck it, we'll sign him or some shit like that.
That's literally why they bought.
Imagine we've said this. They come in for that Mudryk.
No, I don't think they will. But yeah, so
they offer you Mahrez in return.
Speaking of like teams and signing people in January to bolster their chances at top 4 and beyond. Little segue. Newcastle are doing extremely well. I
have never been like, obviously when I was out, I did watch like partial moments of the second half. It was just from what I was told, Chelsea didn't look that good, did they? Yeah, from what I can remember as well. Obviously, we were very sensible.
They got nothing going forward.
Especially awful.
I think even if they did have things going forward, I'm very, very confident in the way that we set up with each game in mind. Like, there was a clear and concise game plan for each team, like how we want to play, how we want to press, when we want to press, and I think it's coming together. So a couple of additions in January would not go amiss, because we are exceeding everyone's expectations here when it comes to where they had us this season. So little Madders signing,
little James Maddison,
and a winger. If we get a winger and James Maddison,
like we said, if you somehow manage to get, I know it won't happen, but Maddison and Zaha would be like the ideal in terms of the next step up from what you've got.
Premier League experience, Premier League experience is, I think, will go a long way. Considering everyone that he's signed so far, he's like sort of like cuddled into the squad. I mean, Bruno last season took him 5-6 games of 10 minutes at the end of each game. Botman when he came, and then we look at Botman now that he's up to speed, he's an absolutely unbelievable centre half. So I think if we get Maddison
and Zaha, mate, that would be.
I think Sip mentioned Zaha because he's been wanting to go for a few seasons, isn't it?
He's on a free at the end, so I don't think he'll go in January.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
I mean, a little Football Manager deal and just offer him like 500k in 2 installments or something, you know.
But that's the thing. Like I said, he would be like a good progression. Like I said, rather than Man City going straight for Robinho, because obviously that's not possible anymore. But from what you've got, Zaha would be that next step up. So
I mean, I want to know what you think about it as well. Like obviously the aim for Newcastle was actually just 8th and above. Like steady progression, where obviously from going from relegation start last season, this time last season we without a win in 14 and sitting on like 5 points or something. It was disgusting. So to see us
now though, like when you're sitting third after 15 games, I'd be very surprised.
It's got to be Europe.
Some of us had you as the overachievers.
I think
is Champions League yours to lose this season.
I think if consistency was there just to be given, yes, it is ours.
I am just be huge for you for depth wide because you're an injury away from having to start Lascelles or Murphy. Do you know what I mean?
Who's your right back?
Trips.
If Tripp gets injured.
Oh, Manquillo. Or Kraft. Didn't Kraft do his ACL in like the second game or something? And he
a drop off like that is hefty. That's
the only thing that will stop this little.
Listen, I'm hoping Paraguay's got Miggy Almiron wrapped up in bubble wrap, mate. Because if he comes back with even a mosquito bite, we're fucked. But listen, a little bit of addition for depth. I think top 4 is that like. I want to say it. Oh fuck it, I'll say it. Is that achievable goal now? Because it's got to the point where. After all those draws, and we spoke about the draws that we were having, suffered like against Palace, away at Brighton, that was a good result, but away at Wolves, even with a few injuries, we should have beat those.
Would you be gutted if you got Conference League in the end?
Yeah, I reckon I would be.
Very different to Europa. Europa's like a good step for you, but that Conference League, the having to play Thursdays with your squad, which it hasn't got the best of depth, It's a different ball game. It's a completely different ball game.
I would be gutted if not so much what competition we'll end up in if we do, but just the drop off from 3rd to 7th.
Yeah, it'd be a bit
that's what would piss me off.
That'd be depressing.
We've now got to the stage where with our squad we're not riding a wave anymore. We're riding a wave of confidence, but our squad is capable of competing with teams that are in Europe already.
Yeah, that performance against Chelsea was enough.
You got players coming back as well. Isak coming back,
Isak's coming back, Gucci Band, Shelby's now back into the squad.
It's just fucking consistency. The amount of times I heard that man's name in the last.
It's a title charge. It's a title charge.
Yes. Having the squad back together where there's very few injuries to worry about now.
Yeah.
If we're sitting in 3rd with a full bill of health on everyone in the squad, then I can't complain one bit. We are massively overachieving.
I think with Newcastle and like fans and like coaches and owners' expectations should now be like, right, let's try and get this top 4. And because when you look at the league, Newcastle, there's 3 teams in the league that have been playing with like a consistent, true identity this season. With Newcastle being the 3rd, they look like a very, very good team. They look like they all know what they're doing. You look at like Liverpool, United, Spurs. Sometimes they just look like they look a bit lost sometimes. Whereas Newcastle, Arsenal, and City have all looked very well drilled. I think now, consistent. They know their system. I think now, with the money that Newcastle have, they should go and bolster in January and really go for it. Because Europa League will be fantastic for Newcastle. But if they could nick that 4th spot, then it'd be fucking
the thing
brilliant.
is as well, you'd imagine that United and Chelsea won't be this poor again next season. Like this, obviously, it's not now or never. But realistically, if they get their foot in the door for Champions League, then they can build on it and keep themselves.
Yeah,
I don't think this is what I said. I don't think nobody would have pipped us to be in 3rd at the Christmas break, right?
I
Absolutely
don't
no
think
one.
put top 10 at the break.
I would have had us anywhere between 7th and 10th, right?
I think this is Newcastle's best chance to get Champions League for potential like the next 4 or 5 years. Because I know you've got money in that, but like we're talking like United.
No, but we do say that a lot though. But I feel like I feel like next year another team will have this.
But I don't. Have we not proved that we're not going to go out there and just randomly spend?
No, but it's going to get to the point. It will never be randomly spent, but you need to. You can't be in this position and not spend.
I mean, no, of course. And I think this is why, it was 2 weeks ago that our owners injected like another 70 million in, which is part of their allowance to have investment. But rumour has it they've just signed a new kit sponsor with Saudia, the airline company from Saudi Arabia.
Those the
which is meant
Thanks for clearing that up.
It's from Wales.
It's from fucking Slough.
Those the revenue up.
Qatar Airways. Fucking hey. Newcastle have looked great, to be fair. They have looked great. I'm not looking forward to Arsenal playing them.
Our result against them is looking better. Do you know what I mean?
They're easy to beat.
Yeah, I'll just get the refs. The refs are on our side, so we may get 20 minutes at a time. To be fair,
you'd have had the 2 penalties.
You will get it because there's sure enough time waste for it that much.
Tell you what, one thing I've noticed is that Newcastle are kings of time wasting this season.
Yeah,
kings.
Mate, they'll sign Ben White.
But the worst
they'll be sorted.
No.
Like kings of it, but like I said, with the Chelsea game, they were lucky because Chelsea had nothing. But it just invite pressure onto them for the last 50 minutes, and then when there's another 9 minutes added time, you just think it's at some point it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
just keep it going.
Yeah, but to be fair, this season's been a bit of a fit. You know, with the way that it took over, how happy Newcastle fans were. This season has been a fairy tale season for Newcastle.
Oh yeah,
it really has. I think it'll be interesting to follow their journey over the next few seasons. To be fair,
yeah. And perfect little segue into just top four in general as well. We'll go round the group about sort of how we see the top four kicking off after.
You lot are cunts, by the way.
After the Christmas break.
Proper not my confidence.
After the Christmas, so top four. Are we saying after the Christmas break or?
Surely that means like at the end of the season because there's
Yeah,
only one
end of the
game.
season,
There's
yeah.
only one
Oh yeah,
game.
we
Yeah,
didn't
no, it's
beat
just
Christmas break.
our
Top
half
4 is
point.
in. Yeah, let's just read
Obviously,
these
the
teams
start
out.
of
We'll
the
all get it
start of the season, we had our prediction for who'd finish
Yeah.
top 4, and now we're at a mid-ish way point.
Have you got those predictions there?
I can get them for you.
I can get them up. Here we go.
I want to
Someone
see
change mine.
Someone
Mine's void.
Someone go live with them.
I will when I can find
Yeah.
them.
I had Hasenhüttl first manager sacked, and I was only
Right, here we go. Right, okie dokie. So Cal had City to
That's
win.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, City to win.
Oh,
Liverpool, Spurs, United. Brick, City to win. Liverpool, Chelsea. You know me.
Chelsea.
I had City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and Arsenal. Chaz had Liverpool to win the title. City, Arsenal, and Tottenham. Copley had City to win. Liverpool, Tottenham, and Arsenal. Jim, same thing, but Liverpool to win. Sip, same thing. City to win. Aaron, the exact same as Sip. So let's just bin this LIV off for a minute.
So should we like just go around individually and just a quick
one.
brief? So
I think we can all put City and Arsenal in.
well,
1, 2.
mine was going to be Arsenal, City. I don't know which order. I think it's going to be in there. If Arsenal don't get top 4 this season, by the way, I'm supporting City. I'm off. I'm off, mate. Me and my pal
I've told you
Haaland.
about cricket. I've told you. It's
I might
so
even go
good.
to cricket.
Come on.
D20 champions.
It may get me down that bad. I might become a lifelong darts fan, mate. But we'll see.
Oh.
Hey,
join us.
we're recruiting.
Join us.
We're
We are
recruiting.
recruiting.
Third and fourth.
Can I just highlight this just quickly, lads?
My shout
seeing it.
fantastic.
I know, Bob.
It does. Then we've got some pretty like
Don't look at the
knowledgeable
shouts,
fucking.
please. Nah, please don't look
I'm
at the
quite-
shouts.
We'll have to do a recap video. We'll have to do a
Yeah, we'll
recap
do it on the end
video.
of the season.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say so Arsenal, City.
Does everyone have
gonna
Arsenal
say-
City in it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
United.
No.
Yeah.
Everyone
so-
have? Yeah. Okay. Everyone has Arsenal City. 1, 2,
Pick
2,
third and
1.
fourth. Just
Yeah.
pick third
Yeah.
and
Let me get
fourth.
this. Let me get
Spurs
this
United.
table. Like,
Right, I'll get the table up
Brick,
for
what's your
You ready?
3-4?
That's
3-4
the
Spurs
table
United.
right now, Chaz.
Spurs United. I'm going to say Cal's for him because he's not here. He had United originally. I reckon he would go. Oh, he'd definitely put United in there, I think, and I think he'd put Newcastle in there or Spurs. Oh, I don't know.
I'm saying Liverpool, Spurs / United.
Ooh.
If I was to
You
choose
got-
one, I would say
are you
Liverpool
just-
United.
You wanting to be a quirky little rat or something?
No,
Like, where
no.
have you pulled Liverpool from here?
They're not like
they're
a
game
million
in
miles
hand.
away.
If they win a
They're
game in hand of
7
Spurs,
points
they're
off.
4
They'll be
points
4
off
points
Spurs.
off.
They win a game in hand. They're 4 points. No, they're 4 points behind Spurs. I'm saying Liverpool for top 4. Liverpool United. I'm saying.
Rick. So top 4 is finishing 1st to 4th, okay? And this is football.
Yeah, so this is American field goal touchdown. I'm saying Newcastle drop out, and I say Tottenham United move up. United 4th spot. Spurs 3rd.
Nice.
There you go.
I'm gonna
I
go City to win the league. Arsenal 2nd. United 3rd. Newcastle 4th.
Oh,
Third. Come on!
let's go! Don't need to play
Aaron,
in the
the fuck we
playoff
done
for
that?
Europe. Let's go, baby.
Aaron and Jim and Sip left.
And me.
I think.
I said Cows. I don't think we're getting top 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Liverpool. It's my 4th spot that I don't want to say United, but I think they will, and it will piss me off. But I think United will get it. It'll be Liverpool United. I think Tottenham will get 5th, and Newcastle will drop down to 6th.
What do you think, Sip?
I'm the last few podcasts I've been optimistic, so I'll whack us in 3rd, and I reckon United 5th. I hate to agree with Brick on football and opinions because you know what some of this.
What happened to 4th?
United 4th, sorry, yeah. The thing
Could be a
is
bit-
with Newcastle, if they don't recruit right, they are a couple of injuries away from having to start Ryan Fraser. Do you know what I mean? So it's just if this train keeps on going, then fair enough. But it could be quite easy to derail with a couple knocks, a couple injuries.
Plateau, some would say.
Yeah.
I think that's if you throw a blanket over those top 6 teams, bar. No, actually, all of them. They are 2 or 3 injuries away from having ropey games for the next 3-4 weeks. Jim's lived it for the first 15.
Top 4. First, Liverpool. Don't call it a comeback, baby.
Let's go, baby.
No, seriously. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs.
I thought he was going to say no. Seriously, Liverpool.
The only reason why I've got Spurs dropping out of top 4 is I don't know what it is with this season. I know they have shown some good sparks, but I feel like they're being very, very clutch. They've been very clutch. I just sit here and wonder to myself, if they don't sign anyone in January, how long can they seriously keep that up?
I think I've seen enough of Spurs flip the game on its head when they need to know that if they get it in their heads that they can do that in the fucking first half, they can actually start doing something in the first 45 minutes instead of just waiting until the last 20 and throw in Ben Davies in the box.
Yeah, I think it is absolutely mind-blowing that Spurs are 3rd this season. I think it's fucking crazy.
They're 4th. Come on, Chaz.
Yeah,
behave yourself.
4th. And to the point where I take my hat off to them because I don't. They have been so stupidly clutch in important moments.
As the optimistic,
which is strange. I reckon Conte gets him in before the game and goes, "Listen, guys, every single game is like a quarter-final, not a final, a quarter-final, all right?" But yeah, fair play.
Optimistic United fan I am. I'm going to go Newcastle, Liverpool in the top 4.
Nice.
Is that everyone?
Fucking.
We got a lot of Liverpools in there.
I reckon Cal would have United in there. I don't know who's 4th team.
I reckon Cal would do the whole no, we win 3 games and then we win 4, and look, we're in the top 4, baby.
I'm saying
it's like he's almost here. Well done.
I'm saying Liverpool because my pal Darwin Nunes the Penguin. He's doing some incredible stuff right now.
I told you,
mate. Anything, even when he tries to control the ball, it goes into the net.
Mate,
he's doing well.
I've been trying to get you guys on it. Darwin, hey Darwin, what's it like being a Penguin? But no, there's a lot more Liverpools in there than I thought there was going to be. But
I think
I thought my Liverpool shout was a bit of a rogue one, but everyone.
It's just a very competitive
one.
It's a very competitive, 4 or 5 teams around there now.
No, I've never put us in it, and
it's
then
very competitive.
I know we didn't have it as a topic, but
I take it. Obviously,
it could be a really good end to the
elephant in the room is nobody has Sterling to bag braces for the rest of the season and put Chelsea up there. No, are they just completely gone?
Oh fuck no!
I reckon they're going to be very, very lucky.
They're fucking 8th
to get Europa League.
And they're going to stay there.
In a good way to transition. In an ideal world, they sign Ronaldo. He doesn't score. They still struggle for goals, and then they finish 9th.
And
everyone's like, "Fuck you."
And we see Tony Marshall score 20 goals in the back half of the season.
We're going to have the 2 Tonys, don't worry.
You say will. Us 6 will see him score the goals. You might not.
I'll watch the highlights, you know what I mean?
I saw the game in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, but that's perfect. That's a anything.
You watched the highlights and still couldn't get the starters and 2 bench players right.
Yeah, I said Elanga started.
Did you fuck? I knew I'd catch you out of that one. I thought there's no way he's going to think
fucking quality. Yeah.
I wish we got that. I wish we had that recorded, man.
Is this where we speak about
the
big baby?
Right. Copley,
the baby.
Copley, Ronaldo.
Brick, you keep thinking I'm gonna do some massive rant.
Nah, he's your boy, bro. He's your boy.
Wait, I want to preface this podcast by saying, obviously, the interview with Piers Morgan and Ronaldo is not out. So we are only giving an opinion and form some sort of conversation on the rumours and the snippets that we've seen. Mm-hmm. Okay? So obviously the first issue, how dare any player sit there and say he doesn't respect his, or he doesn't want to.
When there's no reason to.
Yeah.
Well, if there was a massive reason to, then I think what you said in principle, in principle, what he said is if someone doesn't respect you, I'm not going to respect them. But he has no reason not to respect him, which makes zero sense. We've only seen it the other way round. We haven't seen anything of Ten Hag disrespecting him.
What, Ten Hag's been a manager that
if anything, he's treated he's treated him too well. Ronaldo disrespected Ten Hag by refusing to come against Spurs, and then 4 games later he was captain. Like, if anything, he's giving Ronaldo respect. So because if it wasn't Ronaldo, if it was say Tony, yeah, and say Tony had refused to come on, walked down the tunnel for the final whistle blew. It don't matter if United had injuries, he wouldn't be starting up top or wouldn't be given the captain's armband.
I think that would have been, if it wasn't Ronaldo, that would have been that player's last game for that club.
I mean, this is the whole point of this interview. He is forcing a move, in my opinion. Like, he wanted one. Yeah. Who knows if he got 0 offers or had offers? There's the rumours that we wanted a fee. Now we won't look for a fee, I hope. And it will just be January, you're gone. Bye-bye. Enjoy.
This is the thing where he lacks any sort of logical reason, because he goes, they're forcing me out. It's like, brother, you spent the whole summer twerking for any club to come and get you. No one did. You didn't turn up pre-season for whatever reason. And you're paid $500 a week, and now you feel forced out when you try to force yourself out. It doesn't make sense.
It is very contradicting.
And this whole thing, this whole interview is to be forced out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he now knows he's gone.
As soon as a player goes on that Piers Morgan show, you're fucking.
I mean, we've seen this. He did something similar before. The last time he left, he didn't do an interview, but he did a few things that was like, let me go. I want to go.
His tweet from August the 3rd saying, like, I will release information soon, blah, blah, blah. Almost like creating drama and suspense and some sort of like promo for this.
Yeah, literally.
So it's like if this was his plan all along, fucking hell, he could have gone on Insta Live and got this done in the middle of September. I don't know why he's waiting for that, though. I don't know. Could have become a little social media influencer, Chaz.
The thing is, it's like if I was a United fan,
Shadow Legends.
Like, if you're a United fan, it's like, this is the best. Probably not. I don't know. You might not agree, but like the best you've looked in a while. You know what I mean? The team is playing. However, you're getting results. That, like, momentum's building.
There's a
in spells, yeah.
And now you're doing this. Do you know what I mean? It's because you're not the prime focal point of it.
It's hard to say without watching the whole thing, but from what I've seen, it's not just a case of like he disrespects the manager and the club. He seems like he's just trashing everyone. Like he's trashed Rooney.
Yeah. Weird.
What did you stop me for?
What was that for?
Like Rooney's made comments that well within his right to make, and I don't think he said anything horrific.
No,
I think he said. Like, he's made little points that Ronaldo shouldn't be in the starting 11, which is like fine. And then he made like very playground comments after.
Petty.
Like, petty. I'm not gonna say like the way he goes. I'm not gonna say he looks as good to me, even though it's the truth. Like, we just said it.
All right, vain bastard.
I feel like he just walked around thinking to himself, I know I am one of the best players that ever grace a football pitch. People like you cannot say what you say about me.
Yeah, but that's
not... He's just acted like a big fucking baby, mate.
It's nothing new. It's not anything anyone didn't know.
But the thing is, he plays 90 minutes and he plays like Rolando, and then he plays for 45 minutes, and we actually get a bit of CR7 whenever he plays a little bit, like he plays a bit part role, and like I feel like he's still stuck in this mindset that he can play 90 minutes at the very, very top, and like
he's trying the last 4 games and shit.
Props to him for having that attitude and everything like that. I do appreciate that, but like
he doesn't want to accept his 38.
You've got to accept that you're fucking ancient, brother.
He scored 3 goals this year. I think 2 of them were against Sheriff, weren't they? Like,
yeah. And
don't get me wrong, this fella has been one of the top 3 players to ever kick a football, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And he has had that attitude and mentality from the day he went to United.
It's fine, but you need to
trust. Right, no, I get that. I fully agree with you. I'm not holding him. I'm not looking at that as a negative. Like, if this brother has spent all his career knowing he can play 90 minutes, and that's all he's ever done, like realistically, in his mind, that's all he wants to do. But obviously, when you're 38 and this United, it's a rebuild. It's not
But he also talks about how much he loves the club and loves the fans. If you love the club so much, you'd accept
just fucking
what
play
your
90,
role.
Yeah, play 90 minutes for a fucking Inter Miami, brother. Like, fuck
Is
off.
there anything,
happening, brother?
is there anything?
Right
That
True,
is what's
actually.
happening.
Copley,
Logistical problems.
you as a United fan has obviously alluded to some of the ownership problems that United have had over the past few seasons, where the recruitment ain't been right, stuff like this with the club. Is there anything that you're expecting Ronaldo to out that you'd want to know from the Glazers?
Got enough leaks that fans know everything pretty much.
I was going to say, nothing, I mean, specifics.
It won't be nothing new.
Any details? Like, obviously, Ronaldo said in his in one of the clips about the club, the training ground, everything's still the same as it was 14 years ago.
I'd love to know about the truth of the summer and whether he had offers, didn't have offers, we wanted money or not, and if we just refused to let him go, if Ten Hag said you can go but the owner said you can't go. That I'd like to know what happened with that, because I don't think anyone concrete knows.
I don't think we'll find out, because he's not going to come out and say no club wanted me. He's going to say, the club made it, and then they can come out and go, no, we didn't. Brian, me and Copley had like a little debate earlier regarding what you just said about the training facilities and stuff. What I was saying was, but you didn't mind any of them training facilities last year when you were playing every week and scoring. So why now is it suddenly an issue because you're not playing? You're now digging out the whole.
I said this on the last podcast. So when we were talking about Ronaldo, the last one that I was on, if you can tell me what's changed apart from him missing pre-season, from last season to this season, because listen, 8 months isn't enough to make one of the greatest players ever completely do a U-turn and start playing shit. It's not a pre-season doesn't do that to someone as gifted as he is. Obviously, the fitness aspect. We saw him in, like, during pre-season, all the pictures and that. He was in the gym every day. He was still doing something. Like, there's got to be something behind the scenes that
he's just not happy.
Simple fact
that he's not happy about.
Simple fact is that Ten Hag is potentially the first ever manager to say to Ronaldo that he doesn't fancy him in the squad.
And fair fucking play.
And you know what? I do agree, because I think he has been the perfect man manager when it comes to this. Like, him as an individual, I think the club handled all the rumours, the leaks and that at the start of the season horrifically. But when it comes to Ronaldo himself, I think Ten Hag has done every single thing right.
Like, what he's had to deal with in such a short period of time is fucking insane.
Who has ever said no to Ronaldo?
Nobody. And don't get me wrong, I think people would have tried.
Apart from
the audience. A bad joke, right?
Oh, no.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for someone.
No one ever has. And from what you can see, it appears that Ten Hag has been one of the first people to say no to him.
That's got to be an edit, Jobby.
and say no. You know, I don't want you in the starting 11. This is your role. You take it or leave it. And by the looks of things, he's left it and he's not happy.
Oh no!
Oh, shut up, man.
Jim's team of the week, everyone. Boys
yes,
after
cracking players.
Boys after dark for anything else. But yeah, anyway, Jim's team of the week.
Wait, have we got it up on the screen?
No, I don't think we do. We're gonna have to do that in post production. So, Jim, if you decide your team of the week,
it's not getting done post production.
I saved it. It's in my memory because I know so much ball and I watched so much football this weekend.
Let's go. Me too.
You hear that, Brick?
Yes. So in goal, 2 weeks in a row. You know, people said he ain't a footballer. I tell you what, he is. Danny Ward. Unbelievable player. And then Kieran Trippier. Now, I watched that game live, and my word, he was unreal. How many times I felt like sat there saying, Trippier's got to it. He was by far your best defender. He was unreal.
I think he will go down as one of the biggest steals of a transfer in the modern era of football. Unreal.
Everyone mocks us. Fuck you, idiots.
Fine wine, that man. He just gets better with age,
yeah,
I swear.
Does. And then you got a Marty.
It's like the sort of bird Jim pulls on weekends and that. Go on.
Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched him live as well. And
So yeah,
he's banging.
I'll confess, I didn't watch this game. I have a life. I looked at SofaScore. I went on every single game. Saw he pulled a 7.8. Great, clearances, interceptions.
Unreal.
The lot. So he went in, and also there was no other centre backs to choose from. So there you go. The other centre back. Now he's a bit of a ghost. This one. Doesn't come up on the systems. He goes by a nickname of Zanka, centre back for Brentford, in their great performance against City. He was their best rated centre back because I also didn't watch that game. But yeah, moving on. Robertson, he's been a bit hot and cold this year. Been in and out of the team.
He's been fucking freezing for the majority, mate.
He's been decent. 2 assists. He was very good in the game. I watched, as a Liverpool fan, I watched all of that game. Yeah, it was very good. And then we got Benton Kerr, my Uruguayan king.
Wait, what do you mean? How
You're
do you
Uruguayan
think
king?
you're Uruguayan king, mate?
Sorry, my Uruguayans.
Wait,
Prince.
My Uruguayans.
It can be
No,
a Prince.
yeah, Prince. I love the Uruguayans.
Duke,
Love them, mate.
Duke.
2 goals to seal the victory.
You're asking, or are you asking or telling us?
I know
Jim?
he's got 2 goals.
2 goals, maybe. Was it, guys?
Goals. Kieran
One was the
confirmed he
winner,
scored
though,
2,
wasn't
right?
it?
It was Jim. It
2
was.
goals in 2 minutes and the winner.
Come on, my king. Queen. Prince.
King
and
Prince.
then you got my Gunners, Odegaard. 2
what
goals in 2 for 2. What? 2 goals in the 2-0 win. Sealed
Yeah,
the
there we
victory.
go.
People asked. They wanted more goals from him this season.
Top
And
scorer this season for Arsenal.
And he's coming up with it. Yeah, because they do some shite. And then you got Willock. He got the winner against Chelsea. What a hit. He robbed that off Miggy. He said, fucking leave it. That's mine. And
Miggy was going to Rapona that
to be
as well.
fair. He did play well. Bear in mind, in your midfield, normally it's Bruno Gomes. I feel like or Joel Linton, he shone that game. He was good.
Yeah, he was your best player.
And then
from Trips.
another second week in a row. Crazy. Tavernier.
What a player.
Tavernier.
What a player.
Tavernier, man.
Tavernier.
Fucking hell.
Goal and assist. I feel it goes under the radar because no one likes Everton.
He's player of the month this month, mate.
But Bournemouth 3-0 against Everton. Battered them. That is.
Did you see, just quickly, did you see Iwobi throw his shirt into the ground and get thrown back?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yes, I
That is
did.
peak.
Bloody hell.
Nah, that is. Come on,
It's
man.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Come on, bro.
That's not what the game's about.
No, it's
And then
not.
you've
Now,
got.
now I know why you boycotted the football this weekend, Brick. Well
That's
played,
what I'm
son.
saying, bro. Like, it's crazy.
And then you got Ivan Toney. 2 goals against Manchester City.
Really proving
Should
to
have had a
Southgate
hat-trick.
that he's.
Should have had
Should have had the hat
He
trick.
should have had 4, mate.
His
I'm
second,
hearing- I'm
second
hearing
to last game in a
rumours.
Brentford shirt?
Off to Liverpool. Oh.
No.
And then.
You got the last man, don't you?
Apparently Arsenal are a goal scorer, mate, so he could be able to
Wait, yeah, why would we
Guys,
want him?
guys,
We've
everyone leave
got
him alone, okay?
The
Leave him.
Messiah.
Oh, we might
There
like
was-
him.
The God. The Premier League's best player. The most entertaining player to
Dan
watch.
James.
Garnacho. Oh,
Darwin Núñez. My word.
Skip.
You know what? Okay, he's not the best player in the league. He's fucking the most entertaining, though.
That's
He
playing
is
well,
a
Jim.
joy to watch. Will he fuck up a skill move? Maybe. Will he score a touch? Yes. Will he finish another goal? Yes. He is just sensational.
Does it all, doesn't he?
He's really finding his feet, me old penguin. I love him. I love
Jim,
him.
do you want to tell us about your bet as well for the World Cup?
Free money. Everyone, get onto this. I do not run a Jim's betting
18
website,
plus only.
but I
or
will
whatever
probably
it needs
soon.
to be.
Please gamble responsibly.
Darwin
T's and C's
Núñez,
apply.
top goal scorer of the World Cup. The odds
Printing
are
money, Jim. Printing money.
the odds are incredible. 50-1. Disrespectful to the king. I've got money on it. I'm when that comes in, catch me at Cameo with a table and a bottle.
Rock.
Let's have it.
Who's your manager of your week? Who's your
Who's your
manager?
manager?
Brendan Rodgers. The guy got stick left, right, and centre. Everyone was saying, "How is he not gone? Why is he not gone?"
That was just simple.
Mate, they've pulled out results out their fucking arse. Clean sheets out their arse. They've shot at the table, so fair play to him and fair play to Leicester.
Yep.
There you go.
That's a
enough.
solid team
That's
of the week.
team of the
I
week.
approve of it.
TikTok to follow, link in the description down below from Jim detailing that team of the week. There will be a graphic as well, probably not on this podcast. But
There will be a separate graphic of Jim in cameo when Nunez does win the Golden Boot.
Dirty wine
No one
on
wants to
Gal.
see that.
I would love to see that.
Just a king size bottle of Maggie as well. Just in his hand.
Little milf to my left. Yeah, come on.
Jim.
Not to your right as well, Jim.
Oh no, that'd be a dilf. Dilf. Shit.
Yes, there will.
There's Gritty screen.
Yeah, gritty up.
There you go.
Gritty up, Jim.
Gritty up.
Gritty for the right moment.
Gritty for Nunez.
No.
When Nunez gets
For Nunez, only for my king. Only for my king.
Oh, he's
And on that note, people.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace.